Welcome back to Speech Time. In today's video, we will be breaking down some fundamental principles of debate. In this video, part 1 of a series, we'll be starting with Ethos, Logos, and Pathos. So let's get straight into it, beginning with Ethos. Ethos is also known as your authority to speak on a subject or your credibility. You can state it outright if needed, depending on the topic. It is typically used by debaters to show the audience how they know what they're arguing for or against. For example, if the debate is about school uniforms, as a student, you could be uniquely positioned to speak about the cost or benefits of uniforms. This helps your audience trust you and your position on the topic.
Logos is also known as the logical appeal, and this is the part of debate most people are familiar with because it involves the use of statistics, facts, and reasoning to make and support arguments. This is a really powerful tool, and if handled well with solid explanations and well-placed evidence, it can completely convince an audience that you're in the right on any given topic or subject. So this actually makes your speech better, because while audiences may agree with your ethos, logos is the most crucial aspect of debate. Here you're using logical and persuasive reasoning to argue a point back and forth in support of your side. Your logic, evidence, etc. all needs to support a conclusion or position on the topic. So if you're for school uniforms, the arguments and evidence you provide must convince the audience your position is valid, intelligent, and beneficial for students and society.
Pathos is a tricky one. It involves the use of emotion, and this is where many debaters sink. You cannot overdo the emotions. That looks theatrical and almost manipulative. What you do need to do is hit a balance. If your arguments protect people's freedoms, invoke some feelings of patriotism and love for democracy. If the topic is about justice, equal rights, protecting your future, your use of emotion can set you aside and win over the audience.
During a debate, people can ask you tricky questions or call you out, and this is where you can also use pathos against your opponents. So you could say that you agree with your opponents before following up with a criticism of the argument they made. For example, if your opponent asks you or challenges you on the point that uniforms are affordable or that everyone can buy them, you could say, yes, my opponent is correct that uniforms can be expensive, but they reduce differences in how students dress due to wealth, and they can be purchased with waivers. This is pathos through honesty, and is a vital tool to improving how the audience perceives you.
Now, this might seem like a lot, or maybe it seems sneaky, but these techniques are all ones that you've been practicing and polishing all your life. Maybe you just don't know it yet. Perhaps you used pathos to convince a parent to buy you something expensive, or logos to argue that your bedtime was a sham. You see it on television all the time, used by politicians, advertisers, and in books. So next time that you're listening to someone's arguments, try to break down what makes it stick. What is it that convinces you?
So to recap, you've learned about the credibility ethos lends you, making you seem like you know what you're talking about. In debates, prepared or impromptu, you need to show your audience why your points matter. So this leads us to logos, which is the logical appeal and reasoning used to make your arguments. Next up is pathos, which is emotional persuasion, and it can set a relatable tone and keep your logical arguments interesting and nuanced.
Thanks for watching, and as always, we hope that our breakdown of these fundamental aspects of debate will help you make stronger, more convincing arguments. See you next time on Speech Time.